When did your kid cause absolute chaos with the best intentions? My 8-year-old daughter released 23 therapy animals throughout a nursing home during their monthly petting zoo visit. The administrator's voice was barely controlled panic when she called me at work. Your daughter has created a catastrophic situation, and we need you here immediately. There are rabbits in the pharmacy and chickens in the cardiac wing, and one of the therapy dogs is in the locked memory unit where it absolutely should not be. I dropped everything and sped toward the nursing home while my mind tried to process what Stella could have possibly been thinking. This was the place where my grandmother lived and where Stella had begged to volunteer during winter break. The petting zoo visits cost the facility a fortune, according to the newsletter they sent families. These weren't just random animals, but specially trained therapy animals from an exclusive company. As I pulled into the parking lot, I could see staff members through the windows running down hallways with nets and carrying crates. I found Stella sitting on the floor in the main recreation room, surrounded by empty carriers and cages, while the administrator stood over her with her arms crossed. My daughter had feathers in her dark hair, and her volunteer shirt was covered in fur and what looked like rabbit droppings, but she greeted me with the biggest grin. "Stella, I need you to explain what happened," I said, kneeling down beside her. She looked at me with those serious green eyes. "They're liars, and they're mean, and Grandma hasn't seen a single animal in 2 years, even though she cries about it." The administrator interrupted immediately. "The therapeutic animal program is exclusively for our premium memory care residents whose families pay for the enrichment package." Stella turned to face her directly. "You mean the rich families pay $300 extra a month so only their grandparents get to hold a rabbit, while everyone else watches through locked glass doors?" My stomach dropped as Stella continued, her voice getting stronger. "There's an old man down the hall who used to raise sheep on his farm for 40 years, and he sits by the window every day watching the parking lot hoping to see a dog walk by, and nobody told him there were dogs in the building just 2 hallways away." She was standing now, and I could see tears building in her eyes. "And the lady in room 12 keeps an old photo album full of pictures of her parrots that died 5 years ago, and she talks to those pictures every single day because she's so lonely. She pretends they're still alive." The administrator shifted uncomfortably, but Stella wasn't done. "Today, when they brought in all the animals, I watched them walk right past Grandma's room, and she was sitting in her doorway in her nicest dress because she thought maybe this time she could at least look at them. And the handler said, 'Residents who don't pay don't get to play,' and Grandma just rolled herself back inside and closed her door." "So what exactly did you do?" I asked, even though I already knew. "I waited until they set up in the expensive wing, and then I opened every single cage and told the animals to go find the people who really needed them. Animals don't care about money, and neither should you." Before the administrator could respond, an elderly man rolled into the room in his wheelchair with a golden retriever walking beside him. "This beautiful girl found me, and she knows commands, and she's been sitting with me for an hour, and I haven't felt this calm since my wife died." Behind him came my grandmother, holding a white rabbit against her chest. "This bunny's been visiting all of us regular floor folks, and we've been passing her around like we're teenagers sharing a secret. The woman down the hall started talking for the first time in 6 months when this bunny sat in her lap." The administrator pulled out her phone. "The therapy company will sue us and cancel our contract immediately." My grandmother looked her straight in the eye. "Good, because we just found out you've been hiding these animals from us and charging families extra for something that should be for everyone. And my son's a journalist who would just love this story." I had to bite the inside of my cheek to keep from smiling as more residents appeared in the doorway, some carrying guinea pigs, and others being followed by chickens that seemed perfectly content to waddle beside their walkers. The administrator went pale. "We could lose our license over this." Stella looked up at her with those innocent eyes. "Only if you keep lying about why poor grandparents don't deserve to pet a dog." Stella's banned from volunteering, but because of her they changed the policy, so all residents get animal visitors, and my grandmother says she's never been prouder.